Hello, pod learners of economics. Sounded a bit Scottish there. Maybe I should do this whole thing with a Scotch accent. That would be perhaps a little bit less boring, but I can't do it for that long. Anyway, here we are. We left off at this spot here. And what I'm going to do is continue on with the directions and take you to that graph that you drew the last time, or that I drew the last time and you watched, or whatever we're doing here. And let's go back up then. And what we have to do is find the equilibrium point on the original graph where D meets S and label it E1. Done that already, I believe. And then you find the new equilibrium point where D2 meets S and label that E2. So we're back up here, right? And so if we come back to this place, we've got equilibrium 1 down here, and then we drew this next curve out here, and that became our second demand curve. And I think the illustration I gave was that's toilet paper, or that's whatever, you know. In this particular graph, we've got a demand for gasoline, but toilet paper. People wanted more toilet paper at all possible prices. It shifted the entire demand curve over to the right. It wasn't that we played with the price. And what I'm asking you to do is to find the new equilibrium point where D2 meets S1, and that is about here. Now, I think, you know, not to press on it too much here, but that should make a good deal of sense to some of you, because if you shift the demand curve for toilet paper to the right, and people want it at all possible prices, more of it, well, then what you're going to see is a rise in price of toilet paper. That is what you're going to see. I mean, people were selling toilet paper, for example, on eBay and Craigslist and things like that, because they knew they could get more for it, because compared to the demand, the supply was too little. And what had happened was you ended up with a new price that was significantly, look over here on the price axis here, significantly higher than what it was. The supply curve stayed exactly the same. There was only so much supply, but because we moved this demand curve over to the right, the new demand curve intersected with the supply curve here. That's where the deal is made. And look at that, the price had become higher. And that is something that you would expect. Now, let's go down here to the questions here. Compare the price at E1 to E2. Which one is higher? E2 is higher by quite a lot. In fact, it's almost doubled the price just because you've moved that demand curve over to the right. Make a prediction. Hint, make a prediction. What would happen if the equilibrium price if the demand had decreased or shifted left? Now we'll bring it back to gasoline, and I'll actually draw this one out for you. And I'll say, all right, well, so I'll just sketch this. Here's your price. Here's your quantity. Here's your demand for gasoline. Here's your supply for gasoline. Now, D1, S1. And instead of moving the supply for gas, the demand for gas right, we moved it left to D2. There was a leftward movement. And look what happened. You went from a price up here to a price down here. And that actually is exactly what's happened with the price of gas right now. I mean, on the one hand, you've had some changes in the supply, and that's true. But on the other hand, people just aren't driving anywhere. I can go out on my usually busy road, and there are no cars. I'm not commuting to work. It means I'm driving 100 miles less every single day. And there are a lot of people who are telecommuting, or just simply their jobs have evaporated or whatever, and all of a sudden, the demand for gas has gone down at all possible prices. It wasn't that the price went up, it was that the demand just fell through the floor. And you have a lower equilibrium price, a lower E price. All right, anyway, so moving on. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go, and I'm going to stop this right here. I'm going to break this up a little bit further. I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to end this little screencast, and so you can munch on that for a little bit, and I'll give you a couple of days to get that done. Sorry, guys, I have not been keeping up with my casting, and I'm a day behind. But we'll catch up, and it does look like we have plenty of time to get things done. Anyway, cheers to all of you, and keep up the good work. And hopefully we'll have some drop-in sessions. It seems like the poll that I took says Sundays and Thursdays are good, and the afternoon is good. So I'll be doing Thursday afternoon and Sunday afternoon study sessions, drop-in office hours, whatever, via Google Meet. And cheers to you all. Again, love to all your families and you, and stay safe. And if you can, have some fun. And if you haven't checked out Tiger King yet, you should. Bye.